Before I made games, I played poker professionally. Not as a hobby, not as a weekend thing, as a job. I studied the math, read the opponents, managed risk for a living, and competed at a level where the wrong decision cost real money. And when I started designing Variance Quest, I realized something strange. The skills that made me good at poker were the exact same skills I needed to design a game. Not code, not draw it, design it. Poker taught me more about game design than any tutorial I've ever watched. And today, I'm going to show you why. In poker, the most important skill isn't knowing your cards. It's knowing your opponent. What are they holding? What do they think you're holding? What move do they expect you to make? And how can you use that expectation against them? Game design is the same thing, just from the other side of the table. You're not reading one opponent, you're reading thousands of future players. What will they try first? Where will they be confused? What will they assume? What will surprise them? In Variance Quest, when you challenge another player, you can see their defensive lineup before you build your attack. You see their guardian types, their power level, their information, and you have to read it. Is this player running 3 water types because they love water, or because they know most attackers lead with fire? Are they baiting you into a matchup that looks favorable but isn't? That dynamic, that layer of what do they think I'll do, exists because I spent years at poker tables doing exactly the same thing. Reading behavior isn't poker skill, it's a human skill, and the best games use it. In poker, there's a concept called the metagame. It's the game above the game. It's not about the cards in your hand. It's about the patterns in the room. What strategy is everyone using? And how do you exploit the fact that everyone is doing the same thing? If everyone at the table is playing tight, you play loose. If everyone is aggressive, you wait for a big hand and let them walk into it. You're not playing your cards, you're playing the table. Variance Quest has the same kind of layer. If the current meta is water-heavy defenses, smart attackers start running plant lineups. But once everyone runs plant, suddenly fire becomes the counter. And when fire dominates, water comes back. The meta shifts constantly, and the players who understand that cycle are the ones who win consistently. I didn't learn that from a game design textbook. I learned it from sitting at poker tables and watching trends form and break in real time. The metagame is the heartbeat of the competitive system, and poker taught me how to build one that breathes. In poker, you can make the perfect decision and still lose. You can have the best hand, play it flawlessly, and someone hits a 1 in a 20 draw on the last card and takes your money. That's variance. And here's the thing about variance that most people get wrong. Variance isn't a bug, it's a feature. Without variance, the best players win every single time. And if the better player always wins, worse players stop playing. Because why would you sit down at a table where you have zero chance? Variance is what keeps the game alive. It gives every player hope. It makes every match uncertain enough to be exciting, but fair enough that skill wins over time. The key phrase is over time. In any single hand, anyone can win. Over 1,000 hands, the better player always comes out ahead. I designed Variance Quest with that principle. The type system creates enough variance that a weaker lineup can sometimes beat a stronger one. A close matchup, a lucky sequence, a marginal type advantage that tips a fight. But over dozens of battles, the player with the better strategy and lineup building always rises. Skill matters. It just doesn't guarantee every single outcome, and that's what makes each battle feel alive. In poker, the most important decisions happen before the action. Which hands do you play? From which position? With what sizing? By the time the cards are on the table, most of the work is already done. Execution matters, but preparation matters even more. Variance Quest works the same way. The battle is automatic. You don't press buttons. You don't choose attacks in real time. Your gameplay is the preparation, the lineup, the order, the type matchups, the reading of your opponent's defense. When people first hear about auto battles, they think there's no skill involved. Poker players hear it and immediately understand. Because in poker, the skill isn't in how you flip the cards. It's in which hands you choose to play and how you play them. The decision before the action is where the games live. That design philosophy didn't come from a single design book. It came from tens of thousands of hands of poker where I learned that the best players aren't the ones who react the fastest. They're the ones who prepare the best. Poker taught me that people are predictable and surprising at the same time, that the best strategy is one that adapts. The losing is information. not failure. And that the person who stays at the table the longest, learning from every hand, is the one who wins in the end. Every one of those lessons is embedded in Warden's Quest. Not because I copied poker mechanics, but because poker trained me to think about competition, fairness, and human behavior in a way that nothing else could have. If you've played poker seriously, you'll feel it in the game. And if you haven't, maybe you'll learn something about strategy that goes beyond any game at all. What's something completely unrelated to gaming that taught you something about games? A sport, a job, a hobby, a skill nobody would connect to the game design? Drop it in the comments. I'm genuinely curious what unexpected teachers are out there. Subscribe for more. This is Unnin Games. Let's build